Well, welcome back. Will Meyer, the movie guy, is here with us now talking about top movies at the box office this week. All right, we're going to start with Creed 2.
Creed 2, yeah, it's a sequel to the wildly successful reboot slash spinoff that was Creed. It came out back in 2015, a movie that was just fresh and exciting, and it gave Stallone his third Oscar nomination. The entire cast, Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, and Stallone, they're all back for this one. The director of Creed is not, though. That guy went on to make a little movie this year called Black Panther. So this time we have Stephen Cable Jr. as director, and he's made a movie that isn't as fresh or as exciting as Creed was, but it is still a competent sequel, I would say. If you haven't seen Rocky IV in a while, I would check that one out before seeing this movie, because this is as much of a sequel to Rocky IV as it is to Creed. Because in this movie, it's Adonis Creed versus Victor Drago, who is the son of Ivan Drago, and Ivan killed Apollo, Adonis's father, in the fourth film, and Ivan would go on to be beaten by Rocky Balboa, and so Adonis is out to sort of avenge his father's death, and Victor wants to redeem his father. So the way that this movie explores legacy and family really makes the boxing scenes that much more exciting. This movie, I thought was sort of contrived. It had some issues with, I think throwing some obstacles in the way that I thought really didn't feel that natural. But at the end of the day, I guess it counted for something, because in the boxing scenes towards the end, I was on the edge of my seat. I was emotionally invested in the fight, which is really what counts. I wish there was more Stallone in this movie, though. I wish there was more Tessa Thompson too. It's just not as good as the last one. I thought that that Michael B. Jordan and Stallone were just so good together. But overall, it's still pretty solid. I think it's definitely worth checking out. So I'd say 2.5 out of 4.
But make sure you know the family tree and all the backstory.
Yeah, absolutely.
There.
Yeah, there's a lot of backstory here.
Our next one is Instant Family.
Yeah, this is a drama comedy that stars Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne. It's a movie that's based on a true story about a young, successful couple that wants to start a family. So they enter into the world of foster care adoption, and they think they may adopt one kid, but before they know it, they end up adopting 3. So this is a movie that's based on the director, Sean Anders, his own story, he and his wife's adoption journey. And so the fact that it is a true story, I think, is what helps make this movie feel earnest and heartfelt and authentic. A lot of movies that are like this feel very manipulative to me. You can sort of feel them trying to work you over, trying to assault your tear ducts, but this movie kind of just comes by its emotions honestly, and it's really out to show this process to foster care adoption, really warts and all. So you have flawed characters here, which I really appreciated. Wahlberg and Rose Byrne are actually sort of selfish, but ultimately they're doing a good thing, so you root for them. The kids are no picnic either, and this movie really just commits to kind of showing you the low lows of being a foster parent and also being a child in that process as well. And so I think by showing you some of the darkness, this movie ultimately makes the moments that are uplifting that much more effective. So this is not a dark movie by any stretch of the imagination. No, this is a movie that's out to make you feel warm and fuzzy, and it definitely succeeds at that. I think at the ending, it goes a little overboard, and the humor is kind of scattershot here. It doesn't always work for me, but this is a dose of goodness. This movie, really, you're gonna like it, and I enjoyed it. So 3 out of 4.
Getting some high reviews today. Yeah. Let's see if that continues. We have next At Eternity's Gate. Yeah,
this is a biopic that stars Willem Dafoe, and it's about the life of Vincent van Gogh. And so this is a movie that is written and directed by Julian Schnabel, who's a painter. He's also an art house film director. And this is a very unusual biopic. If you're looking for anything close to Bohemian Rhapsody, this is not your movie. This is something that is way different, much more lyrical. You can tell that it was kind of made by an artist. And if you're looking for something that's going to give you a lot of the facts about his life, this isn't really the movie. This is something that is trying to kind of get inside his head and see what he was thinking, feeling, experiencing during his short, troubled life on Earth. And I think it succeeds at that. He's such a complex character here. He's a guy who's sweet, who's pitiful, who's deranged, brilliant, egotistical. The list just goes on and on. It's such a tough part to play, and Willem Dafoe just makes such a meal out of it. He's one of our best actors, and this may be his finest performance. I thought he was so good in this movie. But this movie is pretty unusual in a lot of ways I don't really have time to talk about, but it is challenging at times, but overall, I admired the heck out of it, and even though it may try your patience a little bit, I still think it's definitely worth seeing. 3.5 out of 4 for this one.
All kind of high reviews today. Yeah. And where can we go for more reviews, Will?
You can go to my Facebook page or my Twitter page. It's Will Talk Movies.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thanks so much for